And Assalamu alaikum. This is Ali Abbas, and I'm here with my new video that is related to quadratic equations. So there are different ways for solving quadratic equations. We will discuss in detail the factorization method, the completing square method, and by quadratic formula. So mostly in paper one, the questions are related to completing the square and as well as the factorization method. So in question number one, we're going quickly to start from question number one. Right, x squared plus 10x plus 6 is in the form of x plus a whole squared plus b. So in this case, you need to remember two of the formulae that are used in algebra for the complete square. So a plus b whole squared was equals to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. If in case you have to remember a minus b whole squared, it will become a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So for this question, you can see the midterm is having a positive sign. So we have to deal the very first formula of algebra. So for finding the value of b, we notice that the x squared coefficient is 1. If the x squared coefficient is 1, we can simply divide the midterm by 2. Then we will be having the value for b. So I can write down straight away a plus b whole squared, x squared is square of x, and then I have to write down plus because midterm is having positive sign. So 10 divided by 2 results in 5 and whole squared. So in actual, a plus b whole squared must be having plus b squared. So it is hidden in this formula which we have done directly. So plus b squared is done inside it. So we have to subtract that negative 5 squared. Why we have subtracted? The reason is because if we have added something into this expression, we have to subtract in order to make these two expressions equal. So plus 6 is in the question, we have to write down as it is. So open the square of negative 5. So negative 5 square is negative 25 and then plus 6. So the result will be x plus 5 whole squared and minus 19. So minus 25 plus 6 is minus 19. So I have to write down the answer x plus 5 whole squared minus 19. This is the answer for the second part. We have to use the same answer for finding or answer for x because they have mentioned you have to use the same process, same thing in part A for solving the quadratic equation. So I have to replace x squared plus 10x plus 6 with x plus 5 whole squared minus 19 equals 0, bringing constant onto the right hand side. And then you can see when the variable is inside that square thing, we have to find the value of the variable. How we can find the value of variable? We have to take square root. If we have to take square root on both sides, it must be having two values onto the other side. It is paper 1 question, so no need to find the answer for square root 19. You have to write down as it is because they mentioned you have to give your answer in the form of p plus minus square root of q. So square root and square will be cut. So plus 5 will be brought to the right hand side, it becomes negative 5 and plus minus square root of 19. So this is the answer. Basically, p is any number that in this case is negative 5. Q will be 19. We have to write down our answer in this form. So I can write down here minus 5 plus minus square root of 19. This is question number 1. So moving ahead to question number 2 quickly. So in question number 2, they mentioned we have to solve the equation 2x plus 1 times x plus 4 equals to 22. This is paper 1 question. So normally quadratic formula is not to be used here. We have to do midterm break or completing the square. We have to check what we have to do exactly here. Most of the questions are dealing with factorization question. Most of the students do mistake like they are supposing 2x plus 1 equals to 22 or x plus 4 equals to 22. This cannot be done like this. If there are two terms, suppose that if these two terms are going to be equals to 0, then in mathematics If the result is 0, either one of the term is 0. It's obvious. If we multiply 5 with 0, it results in 0. If we multiply, you can say the order of the 0 is at the first place or second place, both give 0 answer. So in this case, we can write down as 2x plus 1 equals 0 or x plus 4 equals 0. But it cannot be written like this, 2x plus 1 equals 220. No, it will be wrong. So for solving this, we have to open the brackets, we have to expand, and we have to solve them. 2x times x will be 2x squared, 2x times 4 will be plus 8x, and 1 times x is x, and 1 times 4 is 4, bringing 22 onto the other side for having the standard form of the quadratic equation. So 2x squared, 8x and plus x are like terms, we have to add them, it gives plus 9x. 4 minus 22 results in negative 18 equals 0. So 18 times 2, we have to multiply the last term with the first term. 18 times 2 results in 36. So we have to find the factors of 36. Those two factors, if we subtract them, it results in 9. So because the sign of the last term is negative, 18 2 times is 36. Multiply the constant term with the coefficient of the x squared term, that's 36. So what's we can say starting from 1 times 36 is 36. If we subtract these two factors, the result is not 9. So moving ahead to 2 times 18 subtracted by 2 results in 16. So it's not the answer. So moving ahead to 3 12 times 12 minus 3 results in 9. So these were the factors. Remember, if the sign of the midterm is positive, so bigger factor must be having the positive sign and the other one will be having the opposite one. So I write on plus 12x and minus 3x and minus 18 equals to 0. Now there are 4 terms. Their grouping means we have to take something common from the first 2 terms and take common from the last 2 terms. So 2 and 12, what's to be taken as common? 2 is to be taken as common from x squared and x. We have to take x as common. Inside the bracket, x is left, plus 2 6 times is 12. If the third term sign is negative, write on negative as it is. 3 and 18, 3 is to be taken as common. Inside the bracket, x is left, and this 4th term sign will be changed if the third term sign is negative. So 3 6 times is 18. You can see inside the brackets the terms are same. We can write down them one time. So multiply with 2x minus 3 equals to 0. So now in this case, if 2 terms are going to multiply, we have to do the same thing. Either first one is 0 or second one is 0. So x plus 6 equals to 0 or 2x minus 3 equals to 0. So bringing 6 onto the right hand side, so it results in negative 6. Similarly, for the second part, bringing 3 onto the other side, it results in 2x equals to 3. Now 2 and x are going to multiply. So we have to divide that 2 onto the other side. It results in 3 by 2. We can write on 1 whole 1 by 2. These two are the answers for this question. So we can write down our answers in the given space. That is x equals to minus 6 and x equals to 1 whole 1 by 2, or we can say 1.5, both are fine. So moving ahead to the next question on the next page, question number 3. I hope so all of you understand. If you have any queries, you can write down in the comment section. I'm desperately waiting for your queries. So moving to question number 3. In question number 3, we have to show that this specific equation, algebraic, basically fractions are given in this equation, and it must be simplified to give this result. So we can check x plus 1 and x minus 1 and x plus 2 both are different terms. We have to make the denominator same. How we can make the denominator same? So actually we have to multiply 12 with x minus 1, the other denominator, and divide by the same thing as well, x plus 2 times x minus 1. So similar thing will be done on to the other fraction. We have to multiply with the opposite you can say term, means we have to multiply and divide with x plus 2. So x plus 2 times x minus 1 equals to 7 over 2. So what we have to do in the next process, we have to write down the denominator. one time, that's x plus 2 multiplied by x minus 1. Open the brackets in the numerator. 12 times x is 12x. 12 times minus 1 is minus 12. This plus will be taken with 10. So 10 times x is 10x and plus 10 times 2 is 20 equals to 7 over 2. What will be the next step? Simplify the terms in the numerator. 12x will be added with 10. It results in 22x. Minus 12 and 20 both are different, having signs. So subtract 12 from 20, result is 8. Sign will be of 20, so plus 8. Divide by, we have to multiply the terms in the denominator. So x times x is x squared. X times minus 1 is minus x. Plus 2 times x is plus 2x. And plus 2 times minus 1 is minus 2 equals to 7 over 2. So simplify the terms in the denominator and then we can cross multiply. 22x plus 8 divided by x squared minus x and plus 2x results in positive x, and minus 2 equals to 7 over 2. So what we have to do in the next process, we have to cross multiply. 2 will be multiplied with 22 plus x plus 8, which is equals to 7 times x squared plus x minus 2. Open the brackets. 2 times 22 is 44x plus 2 times 8 is 16 equals 7 times x squared is 7x squared plus 7 times x is 7x. 7 times minus 2 results in minus 14. So I'm bringing all of the terms means on the left hand side towards the right hand side, because we can see 7x squared is already positive. So if it is positive, we don't have to shift x squared terms coefficients, means x squared terms. So I'm just bringing 44x and plus 16 onto the other side. So bringing 0 here. So 7x squared plus 7x minus 14 minus 44x minus 16. So add or subtract the like terms. So 0 equals to 7x squared plus 7x and minus 44x. Subtract 7 from 44, result is 37. Sign will be of the bigger term, that's negative. And minus 14 and minus 16 adds and result will be negative, and it's 30. So it's same as 7x squared minus 37x minus 30 equals to 0. This is the required equation. We have to basically get our answer as a simplified equation. This is the basically in the standard form of the quadratic equations. So moving ahead to the next question that is related to this part, and we have to solve this question through factorization. They've already mentioned the method. If it's not mentioned, we can apply any method, but this is paper 1 question, no need to apply quadratic formula. So 7 times 30 results in 7 times 30 results in 210. So we have to find the factors of 210. If we subtract, results gives us 37. Why? Because 30 sign is negative. So I'm starting from 1. 1 times 210 is 210. So subtract 1 from 210. Result is 209. So 2 times 105. So result is, if we subtract, it's 103. Moving ahead to 3. 3 times 70. If we subtract 3 from 70, result is 67. 4 is not as basically the factor of 210. So moving ahead to 5. 5 42 times. 42 minus 5 results in 37. These two are the factors. So what are the signs? Sign of the bigger factor must be negative because midterm is having negative signs. So 42x will be negative and 5x will be taken as positive, equals to 0. So grouping by grouping, factorization by grouping, 7 and 42 are coming in the same table. 7x is to be taken as common, x minus and 7 6 of 42. Third term sign is positive, so 5 is to be taken as common. X and minus 5 6 times 30 equals to 0. So in the you can say brackets, the terms are same. So write down 1 times and 7x plus 5 into the other bracket equals to 0. So if two terms are going to multiply, either first one is 0 or second one is 0. X minus 6 equals to 0 or 7x plus 5 equals to 0. So bring 6 onto the right hand side, it results in positive 6 and For the other answer, bringing 5 onto the side, result is negative, and dividing by 7 results is minus 5 over 7. This is the answer. No need to simplify the fractions because it's paper 1 question. So no need to do these calculations in the rough work, okay? Because it's paper 1 question. Write down the fraction as it is. Minus 5 over 7. This is all from question number 3. Moving quickly to the next question. If you have any queries related to factorization or simplification of the equation, do let me know. So moving to question number 4. In question number 4, we have to simplify till cx plus d whole square. I've already mentioned the formula in question number 1. Actually, cx plus d whole square means that this complete expression is to be written in this form, means this term is having a complete square. We have to check whether the first term is square of anything. Yes, 4 is square of 2, x square is square of x. And look at 9. 9 is square of 3. We can write down as it is. So in the midterm, there is a positive sign. Write down positive and write down 2 here. 2ab, we have to complete. A is 2x inside the square term. And b is this 3. We can check 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. It's proved. So we can write down a plus b. A is 2x, b is 3. So 2x plus 3 whole squared is the simplified answer for this question. If you can do this question through any of the method, it's paper 1 question. You can write down directly, it will be fine as well. So for second part, we can use the completed square, you can say form for the second question. We can write down directly as 2x plus 3 whole squared equals to 49. When the variable is inside the square term, we have to take square root on both sides. In order to do the square root, we have to do plus minus onto the other side as well. So 49 is the perfect square. It's square of 7. So we can write down 2x plus 3 equals to plus minus 7. So one times we have to take 7 as positive. So 2x plus 3 equals to positive 7. Or for the second time, I write down 2x plus 3 equals to negative 7. So we have to do, we can say, we have to solve both of the equations. So for the first equation, we have to bring 3 onto the other side. It results in 7 minus 3. For the second term, it's also 2x equals to minus 7 minus 3. So 7 minus 3 results in 4. So 4 divided by 2 results in 2. This is the first answer. What about the second? 2x equals to negative 10. Minus 7 minus 3 results in minus 10. So minus 10 by 2 results in negative 5. These two are the answer. One is positive 2 and the other one is negative 5. So this is all from question number 4. Moving ahead to question number 5. So what actually is to be asked in question number 5? There are two terms and something is common. Factorization's first rule, if something is common, you have to take it common. So 5x squared and 3x, x can be taken as common. We can write down 5x and minus 3 equals to 0. So x is being multiplied with 5x minus 3. When two terms are going to multiply, answer is 0. Either first one is 0, we have the first answer, or the second one, 5x minus 3 equals to 0. So bringing 3 onto the other side and dividing by 5 results in 3 over 5. Positive 3 over 5. So we have to write down our answer as 0 and 3 over 5. So moving ahead to question number 6. In question number 6, it's same as question number 1. What we have to do, we have to divide 7 by 2. And coefficient of x squared is also 1. So we can write down x and minus dividing the midterm by 2. We have to express the whole square thing. So actually, plus b squared is hidden in this formula. So we have to subtract, means minus 7 over 2 whole squared. And plus 5 will be added here as well. So x minus 7 over 2 whole squared. So we can rearrange this thing, means plus 5 and minus 7 squared is 49 over 4. We have to make the denominator same. So in order to make the denominator same, multiply and divide this term by 4. So once we have done, it will be resulting in x minus 7 over 2 whole squared plus whole denominator is 4. So 20 minus 49 results in negative 29. So we can write on x minus 7 over 2 whole squared. This paper 1 question, no need to convert into fraction form. It's negative 29 over 4. So the minimum value of this thing must be the term outside the square thing. Why? Because minimum value is always something which is written outside. I will explain later on, but here I'm just quickly solving this thing. If you have any queries, I will explain this thing in detail, this type of thing. So moving ahead to the next question. In next question, we have to write down our answer in 2 decimal places. It's of paper 2 questions. So for paper 2 question, what we have to do, we have to apply quadratic formula. I've already told. If it's written, if you have to write down your answer correct to 2 decimal places, apply quadratic formula. For having quadratic formula, you have to first of all remember the quadratic equation standard form. So through quadratic equation standard form, first of all, figure out A, B, and C. So A is a term which is being multiplied with x squared, that is 3. B is negative 1 because minus x quotient is negative 1. What about C? C is negative 5. So now remember the quadratic formula, that is x. Variable is x, we write on x equals to minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac whole divided by 2a. Now putting these values into the formula, minus and minus 1 is the value as well of b. Square root minus 1 squared minus 4 times a. What is a? A is 3. What is c? C is negative 5 whole divided by 2 times 3. So putting these, we have to write down this thing as it is in the calculator. Then we can get the answer. So write down minus, and inside the bracket we have to write down minus as well, and that bracket will be closed, and plus, and then square root. After applying square root, we have to write down this thing inside the bracket, minus 1 squared, and then minus 4 inside the bracket, we have to write down 3, bracket closed, and in the other bracket, we have to write down minus 5, and in the denominator, we have to write down 2, and inside the bracket, we have to write down 3. So for writing positive sign, we will get the first answer. First answer must be 1.47, rounded off to 2 decimal places. So it will be 1.47. So x equals to 1.47. So for the next part, we have to change the sign. We have to change the sign of the numerator before the square root sign. We have to change with negative, and then press equals to sign, and then st. This is the second answer. That will be negative 1.14. Rounding off to 2 decimal place, minus 1.14. So writing down these answers in the given section, 1.47 is the first answer and minus 1.14 is the second answer. I hope you understand this. So we have to do the same process in next of the questions. So moving ahead. So in next question, we have to figure out what is A. A is 3. What is B? B is positive 60, and C is negative 10,000, one with 4 zeros. So we have to write down the quadratic formula, that's x equals to minus b plus minus square root of that is b squared minus 4ac whole divided by 2a, putting the values which were written on earlier, that will be x equals to minus and times 60 and then plus minus whole square root 60 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 10,000 whole divided by 2 times a is 3. So write down this thing as it is in the calculator. We will be having our answer. So value of a is same, but value of c and b are different. It will be 1 with 4 zeros, means 10,000. So shifting ahead, the value of b must be changed. So it will be 60. And we have to change this value in place of -1. We have to write down 60. So once we have the positive sign, it will result the first value. What's the first value? It is 48.59. Because we write down to correct to two decimal places. So the digit after the two decimal places is smaller than 4, smaller than 5. So we can write down 48.59. 48.59 is the first answer. So what about the second answer? For second answer, we have replaced positive sign with the negative sign in the numerator before the square root sign. So I'm bringing the cursor to that position, specific position, writing down negative here and press equal to sign and then SD for the decimals. So 68.59 with the negative sign. So minus 68.59 is the second answer. So writing down these answers in the space given, that is 48.59, which is the first answer, and negative 68.59, which is the second answer. So moving ahead to question number 9. In question number 9, it's all paper 2, but we have to look at, you can say they haven't mentioned that we have to apply any of the method, or we can say correct two decimal places or answers. They haven't mentioned. So this is a hint. We can do this thing through factorization. We can check. We have to open the brackets. 2 times x is 2x squared. 2x times 1 is 2x equals to 3 times 4 is 12 minus 3 times x is 3x. So bringing these two terms onto the left hand side. So 2x squared plus 2x minus 12 and plus 3x equals to 0. So in the next step, adding and subtracting the like terms 2x squared. So plus 2 and 3 will be resulting in plus 5x minus 12 equals to 0. We can check. 12 times 2 is 24. Factors of 24. If we subtract, results in 5. So factors of 24, we can check. Starting from 1. So subtraction of 1 from 24, resulting in 23. It's not the answer. Checking for 2. 12 minus 2 results in 10, not 5. So moving ahead to 3. 3 times 8 equals to 24. 8 minus 3 is 5. So this is the required answer. So what we have to do, the bigger factor must be having positive sign because the midterm is having positive sign. So plus 8x and minus 3x minus 12 equals to 0. So group by grouping, factorization by grouping. So take 2 and x are common. So x plus 4 will be written inside, and then minus 3 and last term sign will be changed because negative sign was taken as common in the third sign. So it will be x plus 4. X plus 4 is to be taken as common because it's written in both of the brackets times 2x minus 3 equals to 0. When two terms are going to multiply, we have discussed earlier. So the result is 0. So either first one is 0 or second one is 0. So x plus 4 equals to 0 or 2x minus 3 equals to 0. Bringing 4 onto the right hand side, it results in negative 4. Similarly, we have to bring 3 onto the other side. So it will be positive 3 and divided by 2 will be 3 by 2, or we can say 1.5 because we have the calculators. We can write down our answers in decimal in paper 2. No issues at all. So negative 4 and 1.5 are the answers for question number 9. So moving ahead quickly to question number 10. In question number 10, all of the values are same, means it's a quadratic equation. So we can do by factorization, but it's looking like a bit hard. Means the number 460 is a bigger number, so I'm applying quadratic formula, which you can check in reference. Either you can apply factorization or not. So it can be done. I'm already telling you. So A equals to 3. So B equals to 16. C equals to negative 40. So apply the quadratic formula. The variable is x equals to minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac whole divided by 2 times a. So now putting the values minus and times 16 plus minus square root 16 squared minus 4 times 3 and times negative of 460 whole divided by 2 times 3. So putting these two values again into the calculator, you will be having two answers. So the value of C in this case is changed, A is same. So I'm changing the values, that is 460. Similarly, A is same, B is 16. So changing the value of 60 with 16 here in this calculator. This positive sign will be applied in the first step. So it will be minus 16. So press equals to sign. You will be having your answer, which is 10. So x equals to 10 when we are having the positive value. So when we are having the negative value, so what we have to do, I'm bringing that cursor back to the numerator and just changing this sign here. So it is negative. So press equals to sign. The result is minus 15.3. 333 is recurring because there is a line. So this digit is repeating itself. So it is minus 15.33. So on. You have to write on at least 2 times 3. Okay. So x equals to 10 is the first answer, and minus 15.33 and so on is the second answer here. So this is all from question number 10. So moving towards question 11. In question 11, we have to do the same process. We have to write down our answer, correct to 2 decimal places. This question must be done through quadratic formula. So A equals to 22, B equals to negative 273, and C equals to 216 with the positive sign. So x equals to negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac whole completely divided by 2a. This is the formula. So now putting the values, x equals to minus, and the value b is also minus, so it's minus 273 and plus minus whole square root. So minus 273 whole squared and then minus 4 times 22 and times positive 216. So whole divided by 2 multiplied by 22. Now replacing the values in the calculator, then we are having our answer. Replacing A with 22. So replacing C, value of C is 216 with positive sign. And then A with 22. Similarly, value of B is negative with 273. And outside the bracket as well, changing this sign to positive. First of all, we have to positive 1 and minus 2, 7, and 3. Now press equals to sign. You will be having your answer. It's 11.56 if we correct to 2 decimal places. 11.56 is the first answer. So 11.56. What about the second one? For the second one, we have to place a negative sign here. So means before the square root term, I am applying a negative sign here. So putting negative sign here, and it results in 0.85. If you write down correct to two decimal places, 0.85 is positive. 0.85 is the answer correct to two decimal places. So now I'm writing down my answers here in this space. 11.56 is the first answer and 0.85 is the second answer. So moving ahead to the next question, I hope so. All of you understand. If you have any queries, you can write down in the comment section. Same steps will be done for the next part as well. So A equals to 3, B equals to negative 12, and C equals to negative of 176. Write down the quadratic formula again. So it's minus B plus minus square root of B squared minus 4AC complete divided by 2A. Now replacing the values again that we've done in the previous parts. So minus and minus 12 plus minus whole square root. So minus 12 whole square and minus 4 times A is 3 and C is negative of 176 whole divided by 2 times 3. So placing these values inside the calculator. So changing A with 3. Changing A with 3 in the numerator. So it is minus 176 minus and 176. What about A? A is 3 in this case. So A is 3. So bringing that cursor to the value of B. So it was minus 176. So bringing cursor again ahead. So changing this sign to positive sign. If the order of the answer is reversed, it doesn't matter. Both are fine. So it is minus 12 here. Pardon, the value of B is not minus 176. It's basically minus 12. Minus 12 whole squared. Now press an equal to sign. You will be having your answer. The result is in decimals is 9.92. If we correct to two decimal places, 9.92 is the first answer. So 9.92. So what about the second answer? For the second answer, we have to change the sign in the calculator before the square root sign. So I'm bringing that cursor in the numerator and changing the sign before the square root thing. So to negative 1. So press equals to sign, and in decimals it's 5.92. Negative 5.92. This is the answer for question number 12. So writing down the answers in the given space, that is 9.92 and the other one is minus 5.92. This is all from question number 12. So moving quickly to the last two questions of this specific worksheet and from the questions from the past papers related to quadratic equations. So question number 13, we have to open the bracket because 11x is written. So in this case, you can't do like this, 3 equals to 11x or x squared plus 3 equals to 11x. That is wrong. So only in that case, when two terms are going to multiply, the result is 0, then you can do. Now open the brackets. So 3 times x squared is 3x squared plus 3 times 3 is 9 equals to 11x. Now bring 11x onto the left hand side. The sign is changed to negative and plus 9 is here. So it's also 3 significant figures. So we have to use quadratic formula. A is 3, B is negative 11, and C is positive 9. So now apply the quadratic formula. That's minus B plus minus square root. All of these questions which are mentioning two decimal places and 3 significant figures are questions from paper 2. Don't worry, okay? So 2 times A. Now put these values into the formula. X equals to minus and value of B is also negative. So plus minus whole square root. Value of B is negative 11 squared minus 4 times A is 3 and C is 9 and whole divided by A is 2 times 3. So putting these values inside the calculator, the value of A is again 3, so no need to change it. but value of C is positive 9, changing this value here. So it's positive 9. What about A? A is 3, and again value of B is changed. We have to write minus 11 here, minus 11 squared. And before the square root sign, we have to change the sign of that thing. It results in minus 11 press equals to sign. ST results in 2.43. Character 3 significant figure means 2 is the first, 4 is the second, 3 is the third. But after 3, the number is smaller than 5, so we can write down as it is 2.43. This is the answer. So if we have to change the sign before the square root sign, we will be having the second answer. So bring cursor before the square root sign and change the sign to negative and press equals to sign and press this thing. It will be 1.23 or 1.23 is the second answer. So write down your answers in the you can say space given for the answers to be written down. So putting your answers here, 2.43 is the first and 1.23 is the second one. So moving ahead to the last question of this specific worksheet. So in this case, the you can say variable is t, not x. So we have to write down our quadratic formula starting from t. So a equals to 3, b equals to 5, and c equals to negative of 4. So writing t equals to negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac whole divided by 2 times a. So it must be t. Why I put t? Because the variable is t. So it will be minus, and value of b is positive 5. So plus minus complete square root. B is 5. 5 squared minus 4 times a. A is 3 and c is minus 4. And complete divided by 2 times 3. So putting these values inside the calculator, value of a is again 3. So changing the values of c, c is negative 4. Similarly, change the value of b. So it will be positive 5. So it will be reversed with positive 5. So change this sign to positive, and it is positive 5. Press an equals to sign, you will be having your first answer, that is 0.59. Because we're trying to correct to 2 decimal places, so 0.59 is perfect. Third decimal is 0. So t equals to 0.59 is the first answer. So what about the second? For the second, we have to change the sign again in the calculator. So no hard and fast working required. So bringing the cursor before the square root sign in the numerator. So change this positive into negative and press equals to sign, and this conversion to decimal. So it will be minus 2.26 because 7 is greater than 5. So it will be minus 2.26. So t equals to minus 2.26. This is the answer for t, the second answer. So writing down your answer in the space which is given for the answer, and then it will be fine. So it will be 0.59 is the first answer, and minus 2.26 is the second answer. So it's all from today's lesson about quadratic equations. If you have any queries, write down in the comment section. I will be waiting for your queries. And do subscribe my channel if you haven't done, and also share and press the bell icon for further videos. So thanks for watching. Allah Hafiz.